Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today I'm doing the Colored Raine Juicy Boost review of this palette. If you guys follow me on any of my social media, which is only Instagram basically, I mentioned you guys, I posted that I got this on Monday and today is Thursday. I'm trying to film, edit, and upload this video today as promised because I really want to get this up. You guys know exactly what you're getting if you are planning on getting this palette. So we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty when it comes to this palette. I did 3 looks with this palette. This is the 3rd look. If you've been following me on my Instagram, I have been posting on my Insta stories the 3 looks, or yeah, all 3 of them are on there so you guys can check them out. Follow me there if you do want to see my daily looks, and I keep saying that over and over and over, but it's the truth. That's where I post them, and most of you guys can see exactly what I am using, how I am using it, and what I am wearing. So like I mentioned, we're going to get into this review right over here. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of Rakuten pan. That is something that interests you. Subscribe, join us. And now without further ado, let's get on with this review. All right, you guys. So this is the latest from Colored Raine. This is their Juicy Boost palette. This is $52. You can get it 2 different ways. You can get it completely flat lay. Oop, I almost dropped it. Completely flat lay like this, or it came in half of its side and it was double-sided from my understanding. I don't remember, but I remember that it was just half of its size. I decided to choose it this way because I can see them all laid out and then I can pick and choose. For me, if I have it the halfway, it kind of separates the colors for me, so then I don't think to use certain colors together because I'm flipping back and forth. That's just my way my brain works when it comes to colors. So this is $52. You can use a coupon code. I can't remember the percentage that I did get off, but I did get a percentage off, and the total with shipping, tax, everything came out to $52. So basically the coupon code just took off tax and shipping in the end, which is fine. I don't mind it. So this is a nice heavy palette. You see that the packaging, it comes with a sleeve. And the good thing is that the sleeve matches, oh my goodness. The good thing is that the sleeve matches the actual palette, unlike the Colored Raine one that we all love and hate the fact that it wasn't. So here you guys can see the palette. But before I get into it, I do want to mention that it did come with a pamphlet. And here, yeah, you can see what I mean right here. This is what the half of it. Both cost the same thing. They also have a cup and an umbrella if you are interested in it. And this pamphlet I thought was really neat. The first time I've ever seen any brand do this. And because it's consistent of Juicy Boost, like juicers and drinks and things, this pamphlet came with actual juice recipes, which I thought was pretty neat. It gave you more right here. And then the benefits of each of the fruits, which I thought was really neat. I am going to keep this because I think this is a really, really neat pamphlet. I'm one that rarely keeps these pamphlets, but this one I found very, very useful. So I am going to keep this one because I can get use out of those drinks that they mention there. So back to the palette, you guys get a mirror. And as you guys can see here, this is what the palette looks like. And the names correspond with juices. Coconut water, cucumber, avocado, mint leaves, berry beet, ginger bay, orange carrot. You get what I mean. So the theme is really cute. It goes along with everything. The packaging, the name of it, the colors, everything goes really nice. In this palette and in both, when I speak about this palette, I'm also talking about the one that's half its size. You're getting 15 mattes and you're getting these 3. Now, how they describe it on the actual website is the reason why I want to read it to you guys, because I don't agree with it. They are stating that there are 3 high-intensity reflect dazzlers and 15 buttery smooth mattes. So, you guys, I love the whole concept of this. I find that the color story is beautiful on this. I've used every single one of these shadows on my eye. This one, so I'll tell you right now, some of the ones that I have used, I've only used on the lower lash line. I've used as an eyeliner. I've used as a transition shade. So I haven't used every single shadow in its capacity as far as on my lid. Using it multiple ways is what I'm getting at, because mattes sometimes are good in one way of using it, and then when you use it a different way, it's a whole different ballgame. For instance, this one I've used as an eyeliner. It worked great. It was super pigmented, but using this on the outer V, I have a feeling that's going to give me a hard time because it's going to be very, very dark and it's going to be a little bit hard to blend out. So just bear that in mind when I speak about these and I get more use out of this palette. You'll probably hear more about it on my Insta stories. So getting back to this, I love the whole concept. I love the fact that you're getting a majority of mattes and 3 dazzlers because it's very difficult to find bright shades in a matte format. So I'm happy that they did have this. And I love the fact that I could do monochromatic looks. If you just keep to a row, you could just do blue greens. If you keep to this row, it's pinks and purples, sort of. And this row is like basically yellow and oranges. So it's very easy, user-friendly once you get a glimpse of it. You can just go right across and you know that your looks are going to correspond. You can mix and match if you want. Mixing and matching the shades, you do have to be careful due to the undertones of each of them. If they're gonna get muddy, the way that you place them, so on and so forth, you should know the deal. My main issue with this palette, the biggest con of this palette is why they changed the formula. This is not the Colored Raine formula that we know and love. And my thing is, okay, I don't think this is a terrible palette. And please, I need you guys to listen to me completely because I don't want you guys to think that this is the worst palette. You are not going to get good quality. It's not going to work on your eyes, so on and so forth. No, just listen to this because this is a big point that with this palette. They changed the formula. Do you know your mattes in this? I have it right here. The mattes in this, the mattes in all the other palettes that I own. I mean, I think I do own all the palettes they've ever come out with. Every single one. And not one have I ever said that the mattes have changed. This is the first time they've changed the mattes. When I posted on my Instagram the swatches of this, when I shared with you guys my first impression thoughts of just touching this, when you swatch these shadows, they feel like you're touching paper. It's dry, it's not as pigmented. You got some colors you have to go over a few times, a few passes in order to get the opacity you're getting on here. Mainly this whole entire section right here, these you got to go over and over and over to get the opacity of this, including on your eyes, you guys. I've had to build these up like you have no business. These two right here I have on my crease and I had to go over and over and over, and you could barely see it, but I had to go over and over and over. It is not the same matte formula. It is not that soft, rich, buttery, pigmented formula that we are used to. And the main point that I'm making here is the fact that these mattes remind me of Juvia's Place mattes. And you guys know how I feel about their mattes. I like them. I don't love them. They are the type that are drier in texture. You have to pack it on, then blend the edges, or you have to build them up because one swipe of these and putting them on your eyes is not going to be enough with certain colors. And I am not bashing Juvia's Place at all. You guys know I love that brand. I own every single palette minus the 3 recent ones they came out with. So I love their formula. But the difference is they are selling those for $15 to $20, and if it's the same quality as those, this is not worth the $52. I'm sorry. I'm gonna lay it out right there. I would rather have saved my money and used the Juvia's Place palettes knowing that the mattes are the same. If you're gonna change the formula, I wish it would have been so much better. I wish you would have enhanced that richness that you had, maybe bringing it up to the menagerie type of mattes. Like that's what I was expecting with these, and it went down. Unfortunately went down. With that said, I'm not saying this is a bad palette. This is not a workable palette. You're going to get a bunch of issues. Just bear in mind, if you are planning on getting this palette, you're getting the same quality as far as the mattes go when it comes to Juvia's Place. It feels exactly the same way. It applies the same way on your eyes. I am shocked. I really am shocked. I was so disappointed because I was expecting that rich, buttery feeling of those of the Colored Raine formula we know and love. And if I would have known that, I wouldn't have spent the $52 on this because I could spend $15 on a Juvia's Place palette and get the same quality. And that's why I'm kind of upset about it, because I'm paying so much more for the same thing. That's why I stopped buying certain brands overseas, certain indie brands overseas, because I was paying an arm and a leg with shipping and tax and duties for the same quality I can get with Juvia's Place. So I stopped getting certain brands overseas knowing that I can get the same thing here for a cheaper price. And I think that Juvia's Place prices are exactly where they should be for what you're getting. This, no. Now, let's talk about these right here. Out of these 3, this one and this one are really good. These are that foiled creaminess that we do enjoy. Like, that's the foil creamy. This one, you guys, this right here, you guys, is a flaky hot mess. This was terrible for me to put on my eyes. It is, you know, those gold flexes you get for Halloween, and you see people like glue them on and it's a bunch of flecks all over. That's how this one is. You could see that it skips on my skin. I'm not gonna grab my finger and literally go like this on my lid to get a smooth application. There is no way. I had to grab a concealer brush, wet it, go in there bits by bits by bits. And if I show you an up close, you could clearly see how flaky that looks versus these two right here. These two are not as flaky as this one. This one was just terrible to use. It was horrible. Look at it on my towel. I wiped a piece of it on my towel. See how that looks? Look at that flakiness right there. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's just not a smooth formula. I had to really get it in. And blending it out, it looks pretty. Me blending it out right there looks pretty, but I am not going to grab my eyelid and go like this in order to get a pretty look. There is no way I'm going to ruin my eyelids for that. So I had to really work hard. Now, with that specific shade, because I personally have oily lids, throughout the day, as my oils came out, it blended and melted into my eyelid, which made it look even prettier throughout the day. But if you don't have oily lids, or your lids are not one to do that, you're gonna have a bunch of flakes. You can clearly see the texture on your lids with that specific shadow, and I did not like that at all. That one was a tough one to work with, and you can feel the difference between the blue and the gold versus this pink one. You guys, I wish I was coming on here to tell you guys this was an amazing palette. I think it's so worth it. Buy it at your own risk, you guys. If you love the Colored Raine brand in general and you want to support the brand, go ahead and get it. Do I think it's worth the $52? No, I think you can get the same quality elsewhere for a lot cheaper because of the way they made these. They did not do, I'm just so bummed with the fact that I was expecting that great matte quality and it was going to be colors and things, and then when I touched it, I'm like, hold it. Why does it sound like I am scraping paper on my finger? And then using it, I was just like, yeah, this, I'll tell you right now, this color right here, I did a halo look with this one right here and then put the blue. It took me so many layers to layer up my outer V and my inner corner with this green shade because it just wasn't there. Look at it. You can clearly see I barely touched it. And this is not the quality that I know that Colored Raine can be. So that's my thoughts, you guys. I'm not saying it's terrible. Please do not get me wrong. I'm not saying this is horrible. This is terrible. You're not going to be able to work with it. I have been able to do really pretty looks with this palette, but I have to take my time with it because the majority of these shadows are mattes. And the mattes that are in here are like Juvia's Place mattes. So we all know how Juvia's Place mattes are. I've said it many, many times where they're drier. They're easier for beginners. I'll tell you that much. If you're a beginner, this palette may be easy for you because you have to build up the color. If you're somebody who's heavy-handed, this might be something for you because you have to build up the color. But if you are somebody who know and love the Colored Raine one, you may be disappointed. You may be disappointed. I don't know. It's your preference. You decide whether this is something for you. I'm not going to tell you that yes, you need it. No, you don't need it. I've never been like that. You guys know that. I'm just telling you how the palette is, and you decide according to how you apply your makeup, what your preferences are in makeup application, and whether this is a palette that will bring benefit to your collection. Like, if this is something that you're going to get use out of, get it. I don't see it being terrible. The quality is not my favorite. This is by far, if I were to rank all of my Colored Raine palettes, I can tell you right now, this is the last one. This would be last on my list because I just was expecting that buttery richness from the color matte, the mattes in here. So that's all I'm going to say about this palette. That's where I'm going to end it. You got your pros and you got your cons. You guys decide whether it's something you want, you don't want. If you want to save your money, wait for something in the future. I know I might hesitate if they do come out with something new because I'm going to be afraid that it's not going to be the same quality, that this is the direction that they're going in the future. I don't know. This might be just because of these colors, these specific shades in here needed to be a specific way being done. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. So anyway, you guys, that is it. I'll link it down below if you are interested in checking it out. I'll put more videos right over here for your enjoyment. Until then, bye guys.